Have you ever heard about Ni Una Menos? No? Have you ever seen it before? When people look at this movement with judgment, they see Ni Una Menos like a group of women screaming and vandalizing cities. They might think this does not represent anything or anyone, but actually, this movement is an important discussion in our society, especially in front of the sexism existing in it. Ni Una Menos is a feminist collective that grew up quickly to be a social movement because of its meaning for all the women around the world. But have you ever wondered why this movement began? Ni Una Menos is a social and feminist movement that takes care and fights for all women. The name is self-explanatory. Women are saying enough to keep counting women murder and violence. It means that no woman has to be afraid of living just for being a woman. They have rights, life and souls that no one should be able to take away. This movement is from and for all the women out there that deserve justice and acceptable treatment in all ways. This movement has been in the history for a long time, denouncing sexist violence for decades. But since the first march on June 3rd, 2015 in Argentina, the streets and the manifesto show that the driving force behind the mobilization was a feminist impulse with its plurality of tones and voices. That's what made the Ni Una Menos collective, and it has made many key organizational milestones for National Women's Gathering and the National Campaign for the Right to Legal, Safe and Free Abortion. Ni Una Menos represents every woman that has suffered this type of abuse and discrimination, and also is for all the young and future women so they don't have to go through that too. That's the meaning of their message: to build a women's movement that is new, powerful, popular, cross-cutting, libertarian, with 1,000 faces and thousands of voices from all women in the world, always remembering how much women have fought for their rights. But what started? The femicide of Chara Páez was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Some important moments of this movement are like June 3rd, 2015 in Argentina is the first demonstration under the slogan Ni Una Menos, following the femicide of Chara Páez. The next year, October 19, also in Argentina, is a national strike and Black Wednesday after the brutal femicide of Lucía Pérez with the slogan Todas somos Lucía. That same year, on October, is the first demonstration in Chile, following cases such as that of Nabila Rifo. And the next year, in March 8, 2017, is the first International Women's Strike. On June 2018, on Argentina, the movement became intertwined with the demand for legal, safe and free abortion. And since that year to the present, in Latin America, the movement is consolidated as a symbol of feminist struggle with marches every June 3rd and March the 8th.
Chiara Páez's disappearance on May 9, 2015 shocked and mobilized a city of about 20,000 people who went out to search for her in every corner. Her body was found the next day buried in her boyfriend's grandparents' house after he confessed to the crime of beating her because she didn't want to abort their child. Marcela Ojeda, journalist and chronicler of the Ni Una Menos movement, tweeted after seeing the Chiara Páez news: actress, politician, artist, businesswoman, social leader, woman, all of them. Well, aren't we going to do anything? They're killing us. Making many women from different parts of Argentina agree regardless of the spelling and punctuation errors. And Mercedes Funes, editor-in-chief of the Gente magazine, was one of the members of the organizing group behind the historic march that filled the Plaza del Congreso with more than 200,000 people on the 3rd of June of 2014.
The Ni Una Menos movement has had a huge impact in Latin America and the world, with endless protests against gender-based violence and the systemic issues that contribute to the violence against women. As it is a feminist movement, it has also spoken out about the mistreatment and disadvantages that women have faced throughout most of history, of course. The movement's goals are generally seen as positive and reasonable, but its demands can be a little bit radical for some people. On June 3, the first Ni Una Menos march occurred, and both the hashtag and the march were huge, and a big success. 200,000 people attended the march in Buenos Aires, while thousands of others marched all across Argentina. Just in that day, Ni Una Menos was mentioned more than 500,000 times on social media. Also, the massive online movement caused a great increase in the activism numbers between 2014 and 2018, and women became even more involved in manifestations. It set off debates and increased discussions related to these topics. It even led to judicial transformation. In fact, in 2015, and because of the big impact the first protest had, Argentina's Supreme Court and government took quick action and started collecting data about gender-based violence and approved a law that protects women from verbal and physical abuse. These changes started to happen not just in Argentina, but in all the regions of Latin America and the world. Ni Una Menos started a kind of new wave of feminism in Argentina, and it led to a resurgence in other movements related to it, such as the fight for the abortion rights, which, in 2020, the National Congress approved it up to the 14th week of pregnancy. Ni Una Menos created an enormous community with support from all over the world. It became a tool for modern times in which often silenced voices could be represented and be heard. The movement caught the public's eye, and it gained a force rarely seen before.
We chose this movement because we wanted to understand how Ni Una Menos was born. At first, we had a tiny idea of what it was, but when we started to search for information and watch videos of the manifestation, we realized that we knew so little about it. Ni Una Menos is a movement that deserves being seen, and it's important to know why it began and why it is still fighting.
Women are exhausted of all the sexism, violence that is everywhere in society, politics, and entertainment. Ni Una Menos complains about the different dimensions of violence like the gender pay gap, unpaid and unrecognizable care work, employment that weighs more heavily on women, lesbians, trans, and queer people. A tangle of economic, political, and cultural issues that they want to unravel in order to dismantle their foundation and combat their violence.